Update. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to give my friend her key back? Original post. I became friends with a couple, female 26 and male 31, when they moved to my city about 3 years ago. I met them together and I'm closer with the wife, but still friends with her husband. About a year ago, the wife moved to another city for her job while the husband stayed behind to finish his master's degree. In September, I got a call from the wife. She was inconsolable and admitted she had a brief affair, but ended it because she wanted to focus on her marriage. The affair partner did not take it well, found a husband, and told him everything in painful detail, complete with screenshots and photo evidence. The husband was obviously blindsided and devastated. They are still living in 2 separate states, and the husband has gone low to no contact with the wife, asking for space. She has been incredibly emotional since this happened. I've been in contact with her multiple times a day just to check in and let her know she's loved and important, but she's understandably been a mess. I've seen the husband a few times and let him know that the wife told me what happened. I told him I just wanted him to know I'm here if he needs anything. My goal has been to be there for both of my friends and not take sides. To me, this situation comes down to bad decisions that had painful consequences. There's no villain in this story. People are not the sum of their mistakes. Fast forward to the present day, the wife has been served divorce papers. She wants to talk to the husband in person, but he doesn't. He agreed to FaceTime if they do speak. She now wants to fly here without telling him and show up on his doorstep to fight for the marriage. They have a door code to their apartment that they use daily, as well as a key they gave me about a year ago when I was watching their pets. When I went to return the key, the husband told me to hang on to it. He has since changed the door code, so she currently has no way to enter the apartment if he's not home. She's also worried he won't let her in if he knows it's her, although I don't think that would be the case, but who knows? She asked me to pick her up from the airport and give her the key so she can get in. I told her I'm not comfortable with that because I don't want the husband to feel betrayed or think I was part of an ambush. She plans to arrive at 10 p.m. unannounced, which I think is a terrible idea. I'd be spooked if it were me. Even though he's former military, I just don't think surprising anyone that late is a good idea. I suggested that if she Ubers to the apartment and he won't let her in, or is it home, I could still drive. I'm only 15 minutes away, and give her the key then. But she said no. She's still on a lease, so she legally has the right to enter the apartment, but I'm reluctant to give her the key up front. So am I the a-hole to him if I give her the key, or am I the a-hole to her if I don't give it to her up front? Edit. I should clarify that they were still together when they gave me the key, which is part of why I was conflicted. She technically gave it to me, with him there. She had already moved for her job when I tried to return it, and he told me to keep it. This is a difficult situation because her mental health has declined significantly since this happened. She's had episodes of self-harm and suicidal thoughts, including making a plan and reaching out to me. I was able to coordinate with one of her friends in her city and convinced her to admit herself to the hospital for a 48-hour hold. Her mental health has been incredibly fragile. That doesn't excuse her choices, but during these episodes, she asked me to reach out to her husband to tell him the state she was in. I told her no, because I felt it was manipulative, and I also thought that whether he responded or not, it would impact her negatively either way. I encouraged her to work with her therapist instead. The support I've given her has solely been regarding her mental health. I haven't engaged in conversations with either of them about the other. She has mostly vented to me about her deep regret, remorse, guilt, and lack of self-worth because of her choices. As her friend, I've tried to support her as a vulnerable human being by reminding her that we are not the sum of our mistakes. While this is painful and has deep consequences, she still has so much to live for. I say all this because I've seen comments suggesting that I inserted myself into the middle of this, but this situation just escalated today. She asked me for the key and I told her I wasn't comfortable with that for the reasons I stated in my original post. She's obviously emotional, and since she technically gave me the key with this agreement, I reluctantly agreed. But my conscience is telling me that might not be the right decision, even though I'm trying to navigate a really intense and sensitive situation. Now for the top comments before reading the update. Not the a-hole for giving him the key or telling him to change the locks. Mail him the key and tell him to expect it. Do not let your friend hurt him anymore. She chose to cheat on her husband. There are consequences. What if you were in his shoes? How would you feel if your cheating ex was given keys to your home? Tell the husband you're returning the key. It's not your dance. Be upfront with him that you do not feel comfortable having the key. And as he's the one residing in the apartment, you're returning it to him. She's also trying to manipulate you. Do not get involved in their divorce issues. Yeah, the people who scream the loudest for help are not always the ones who suffer the most. You can suffer very well in silence. And most of the time, the people who ends their life, well, they just do it, with no warning, sadly. Coming when you know you're not welcomed is stalking behavior. At OP, she's not your friend. A true friend wouldn't ask you to do such thing. Do not get involved. Your friendship with both of them will irretrievably be changed. She lives further away and will more than likely not come back. He lives locally, so it's nice to have a friend you can trust. I would just say to her that she's putting you in an impossible situation and it isn't fair. You've been there for her throughout, but this is one step too far, and tell her you gave the key back if nothing else. Good luck. Thanks. You've made some really great points. I'm definitely not going to be giving her the key. Now for the first update. What a jolt this has been in a really short span of time. First, I do want to say that I absolutely think the choices she made were wrong, and so does she. She knows she messed up and has been torturing herself over it in some really intense ways. Ways that I am absolutely not qualified to help her navigate. However, I've tried to be a supportive friend because of the immediacy and severity of the help she needed at a time. Thanks to everyone for the perspective. I think I've been so worried about her emotional state over the last few months that I've been too close to it to see what some of you are saying. That she's been a bit manipulative with me, especially when I told her I wasn't comfortable giving her the key. I'm going to call her tomorrow and let her know that I'm not giving it to her. I really appreciate the snap out of it slap that a lot of you provided. Second update. Update on the wife. I let her know this morning that I wouldn't be giving her the key. As many of you predicted, she instantly responded with complete vitriol. No discussion. No, please reconsider. None of that. Just straight to, I can't believe you right now. I can't rely on anyone. Thanks a lot. And fine, you will regret it. That last one was a bit unexpected. I probably would have been shocked if I hadn't read the feedback on this post beforehand. So I was honestly unfazed and just responded that I don't support what she's trying to do. Like a few people mentioned, if the roles were reversed and the husband was asking me to do this, I would absolutely be saying the same thing. I told her she needs to respect my decision because it's not going to change. Among other things, she told me I was ruining everything. I let her know that, unfortunately, she is the one who has ruined everything with the decisions she's made in the past, and that it's time for her to start taking accountability and stop looking for people to blame. I also told her that I would be giving the key back to the husband and letting him know what she was planning. She lost it. Lots of swearing, lots of self-pity, and even threats of self-harm. She also said I wasn't a good friend to her. That's when I had enough. I told her I was done being a punch bag for her. I reminded her that I've been a good friend to her when no one else was supporting her, and that I've stood by her through some dark times. I said her selfishness has finally crossed a line with me. I ended it by saying that she's in a dangerous state of mind and needs to reach out to her therapist and share our conversation, so they can provide an objective view. I told her that she needs help I can no longer give and that I'm done. She sent me 2 apology texts about 5 minutes later, but I haven't responded and don't plan to. If she somehow shows up at my door after flying in tomorrow, I won't answer. Updates on husband. I let him know everything this morning. We're good, and we've made plans for me to return the key. She's supposed to fly in tomorrow night and leave Saturday. He actually won't even be in town this weekend. You absolutely did the right thing. Block her number and be careful answering your door, just in case. Thank you. I did, and I will. If there's somewhere local you've always thought about visiting, cafe, museum exhibition, etc., maybe treat yourself to a day trip away from your place on Saturday, just in case. Thanks. Luckily, I'm working at a client's house, so I won't be around. You did the right thing. She showed her true face, which, to be honest, was no surprise to those of us who read a story. This is who she is, and it's good you recognize that now. The best next step would be to block her. You don't need to be swayed or annoyed by a deluge of "sorry, not sorry, this is who I am" texts. Agreed, and I have. Honestly, given her reaction when he initially found out about her cheating, I don't think her little surprise visit plan was anything that hadn't already crossed his mind. Agreed, he didn't seem at all surprised when I told him. Next story. Am I the a-hole for taking back the spare key after my sister let her boyfriend in without asking? Here's the situation. I, 30 female, recently moved into a new place, and being the nice sister that I am, I gave my sister Maya, 26 female, a spare key in case of an emergency. You know, for situations like needing to get in for a repair person or something like that. Fast forward to last week when I was out of town for a few days, and I found out from my roommate that Maya had used the key to let her boyfriend in while I was at home. Apparently, she didn't ask me about it first. She just showed up with him and let him hang out at my place, saying it was convenient because she was nearby. I was pretty upset when I found out. I mean, we have a close relationship, but using the key without asking first feels like a big breach of trust. I didn't want her assuming she had free reign over my home when I'm not around. So, I told her I was taking the key back, and honestly, I didn't think it'd be that big of a deal. But now she's furious with me. She says I'm being unreasonable and controlling, and that I should have been chill about it, because it was just her boyfriend coming over. To me, it's not just about her boyfriend coming over. It's about her not respecting boundaries, and the trust I placed in her by giving her the key. I don't know. Am I overreacting here? Should I have just let it slide? Now for the comments. Not the a-hole. Nothing more to say. She used to take advantage of you, and you don't owe her anything. She broke the rules, and now she faces the consequences. It's clear by how mad she's getting that she planned to further use your home and abuse your trust. Her reaction is even more of a reason why you should take back the key. If she still has it, I'd get one of the locks changed, as I'm sure she will have a spare cut for herself before handing it over. How on earth was her boyfriend coming over an emergency? She already broke your trust. You also have a roommate. The home is half her space that she pays for. Your sister bringing a stranger into you and your roommate's home without either of your express permission is wrong, and she knows it. Did you and your roommate both agree on who should be entrusted with an emergency key? Your sister is immature and not ready for the responsibility you entrusted her with. You are not the a-hole. Seriously, if I were the roommate, I'd be absolutely mad. OP is lucky they don't also have to deal with a rightfully angry roommate. You're not the a-hole. But I'm confused. Why would her boyfriend need to go into your place anyway? Was he meeting your sister there? If so, does she not have a place? It's strange that he would be there by himself. Just have a think about what a 26-year-old couple would want to use an empty house for just for a moment. Stuff they can't do at their parents' house. While OP's sister was 99% banging, sometimes just not having to be around parents is great, especially if you don't have a place of your own. Last story. Am I the a-hole for kicking my brother-in-law out of my house for the things he said about me? I, 26 female, and my boyfriend, 28 male, threw a housewarming party last night since we just got our dream home after we got a massive promotion. I'm currently 5 months pregnant with our first child. This was not planned but was a happy surprise. We have both always wanted to be parents, so we decided to keep the baby. All of our family came over to our house and it was amazing, until my brother-in-law, 22 male, opened his mouth. He joked to my boyfriend that I was clearly baby trapping him since this house was way too nice for my kind, and that he should have dated that Instagram model he dated before me, so his kids could have a fighting chance. For context, I'm Native American and from Wyoming, and my boyfriend and his family are Midwestern white. Without thinking clearly, I said, "Talk about projecting. Your girlfriend is a married single mother. If anything, you're the baby trapper. You don't even know your son's birthday." She didn't even want kids at first, but you argued about kids, and suddenly she's pregnant a month later. His girlfriend, 21 female, was also at the party. My boyfriend then kicked him out of our house after he had a fit over my comment and told him to never speak about his family ever again. His family, mostly his mother, is now blowing up my phone. She has sent me about 10 text messages and a couple of voice notes, blaming me for my brother-in-law's girlfriend finally breaking up with him and saying I sound like a jealous baby mama. Was I in the wrong for calling him a baby trapper and kicking him out? Did I overreact? I feel like I could have handled that better, but I'd rather have unbiased opinions from strangers on Reddit. Sorry if this is kind of all over the place. This baby is giving me the worst headaches. And I'm typing this on my lunch break. Edit to add. I did apologize to my sister-in-law that night it happened. She's now staying with me with her son until her mom is able to have a baby-safe environment in her home. My boyfriend defended me before my baby trapping comment. He's not a crappy boyfriend. I just didn't write that because it didn't feel important to my actions, which I'm asking about. He has always defended me, even over the smallest things. How does his mother think you're jealous? He called you a baby trapper with some racist crap on top, and you called him a baby trapper right back. Sounds like he can dish it out but can't take it, which is not surprising considering his mother clearly enables that behavior. The fact that your words helped his girlfriend realize who he really is and get out while she still has a fighting chance is something to be proud of. And good for your boyfriend for kicking his brother out. Now he needs to shut down the rest of the flying monkeys in his family, not the a-hole. I don't even know why his mother thinks I'm jealous. That's her baby boy, her words, so I think she's just trying to deflect his behavior and treatment of his girlfriend and child. I am glad she got out too. She's a sweet girl, an amazing mom to her son. Change baby boy to golden child. You aren't wrong. My boyfriend turned out great, but she fumbled the ball with her golden child. Not the a-hole. Sounds like you have a good boyfriend who has your back. His family, however, needs to pull their heads out of their hindquarters before they start talking about anyone. Brother-in-law openly insulted you in your own home and questioned your character with his horrid comments. He then doubled down by saying your boyfriend should have gotten with an Instagram model so his kids would have a fighting chance. Let your boyfriend know what his family is saying, and that if they don't stop, you will be blocking them. You don't need that kind of toxicity in your life or relationship. My boyfriend is aware of the texts they are sending me, and I've blocked them. He's going to be talking to them once he gets off work.